If I can't run London Marathon, I'm screwing, bro.
But it is looking peak.
I don't know what it is, but I just get both.
So when you felt that day,
X-ray's been complete. We've got good news and we've got bad news. The good news, I do not have a stress fracture. I'm running London Marathon as long as we watch that training. Bad news, there's an underlying issue we need to get to the bottom of, or this is going to keep happening, which is annoying. Most people never see 5 a.m. and that's fine, but for me, 5 a.m. is where it all started. 5 a.m. on a prison yard. It taught me discipline, a discipline I couldn't find anywhere else. And slowly, that discipline transferred into every area of my life. I showed up on that prison yard every single day, and eventually, it changed everything. The world is full of chaos, and if you're serious about training, you need to find a time where there's zero excuses, no distractions, no noise, just you and the work. And for me, that's 4 a.m. For you, it might look different, but the principle is the same. People always ask me why I'm up at 4 a.m. And the truth is, the world is full of chaos. And this is the time that I find peace. Before the noise starts, before the world gets to saying how your day goes. You start the day with a win. Most people who don't reach their goal, they don't fail because they weren't talented enough. They fail because they left too early. They started, they didn't see the results straight away, and they quit. The people who get there are rarely the ones who are most gifted. They're just the ones who didn't give up. They're the ones who stayed in the game long enough to see the results compound. Stay in the game. So we're at UOB this morning, which is a University of Birmingham track. This is the favorite track I like to go to in the mornings to get my morning sessions in. We're going to be doing a spicy tempo session this morning. We're only 16 days out from the London Marathon, from the big day. So today's session is going to be a 1 kilometer warm-up with 8 times 1 kilometer reps and a 1K cool down, which will be a total volume of 10 kilometers. But essentially the tempo session is 8 times 1K. We're going to be aiming to run at 4-minute pace per kilometer with a 90 seconds rest in between. So 4 kilometer pace at the moment is going to be slightly above target marathon pace. So it's going to be hard, but it's going to be sustainable. We're going to be aiming for 90 seconds rest in between. We don't want our body to fully recover. We want to still make it hard. And it's going to be hard on marathon day. When you get to mile 20, your legs are going to be heavy, you're going to be burning. So we want to get accustomed to that feeling on today's tempo track session. Time to do the work.
No time for sleeping. These niggas hating on me for no reason. I pray I make it back.
Tempted. I don't know how I'm feeling about this full session, you know. I'm just tempted.
Tell them for they feelings drop dead. Go tell them I said.
I'm gonna drop it down to 8 times 8 instead of 8 times 1K. My phone's still giving me niggles, man. It's my first track session in literally 8 months. 8 months since my injury. First track session of the block. Fucking tough, man. The session now is hard. You want to stop, you want to quit, but it's about staying disciplined and sticking to a plan. See, the work is simple. It's just not easy. Anybody that is training towards anything right now, whether that's London Marathon, Manchester Marathon, the landmarks, whatever it is, the work is simple. It's just not easy. The one thing I say to take away from today is respect your hard days, protect your easy days, allow yourself enough time to recover. Because like I said, the work is simple. It's just not easy. You have to set the bar high. You have to set the goal so high that it doesn't feel comfortable. It makes you feel uneasy. but you still have to show up. Never give up. Never give up. Lunges down outside of the left track. 300 meter roll, 4 lengths farmers, 20 meter sled pull, 20 thrusted, the last one, 300 meter run, 20 push-up releases, 20 Bulgarians and 20 wall balls. Any questions about any of the exercises?
DC Temper Jeff Bezos, serious glitch in the matrix. Hope it kicks in quick, I'm impatient. Cause just took a pill and I'm waiting. I can't wait until my limbs feel weightless. Activated tingling sensation. When I gave her a glimpse,
Treacherous work.
it was amazing. Send man jail for rehabilitation. With a wish that it fix our behaviours.
We're at the high rock session today with ROCUP. On a Saturday we normally bang these out. I haven't been attending them as much because I've just been literally focused on the marathon training. I'm gonna have to fill you in after. The job's not done. Putting in the work together. Grafting together.
I gave man benefit of the doubt,
Shit,
but I could have
I need
sworn
bleeding
that guy was a
together.
fraud. If I play the sport, they did better than I take those well cause I can afford. The emotions low, no surprise, they want me outlined in chalk. How can I quit when my fam rely on me? That's why the band's my grand priority. When I die I hope fans admire me, and I live on like Anne Frank's diary. I've undeniably got anxiety, I feel detached when in society. I may hurt her cause I'm a half heart, it's hard for
High
me
rock
to
sessions
love
are great
entirely.
because these are helping me hit my anaerobic system. So anaerobic is when you're at high intensity, when you're max rate. So an example of that when you're running would be a track session, when you're going all the way out, when you're flat out. How am I gonna hit my aerobic system? By doing zone 2 bike rides, zone 2 swims.
If it ain't regarding, what stop asking? Man, how I am, I'm calm. Paid 300k retail for the Richie, but it resell for 5th, what a bargain. Copped up brothers, wrapped in carbon. Rocket launching when I stop and start it. Drove past the bus stop, I used to bust shots. Sack got blast.
Saturday high rock wrapped up. After ROCUP run this morning. I haven't attended these sessions in a while because I've been purely focusing on London Marathon. But after the scare last week and being told to only stick to 3 runs a week, I want to try and find ways that I can still work my cardiovascular system without overloading my legs and without having to run more than 3 times a week. So the reason I chose to attend the high rock session today was I wanted to work my anaerobic system. Proper good session. I'm confident now, still sticking to our 3 days a week. Then it's taper, we go back down to like 12k, 14k, and then it's marathon day. So we're getting closer, man. We're getting closer. So it's Wednesday, the 15th of April. We're 11 days out now until the London Marathon. We had a little scare last week. Felt like the niggles were coming back with the stress fracture. Hit the physio, hit the x-ray. Luckily, we got the good news and there's no stress fracture, which is obviously good news, but it does open up the question, what is the issue? Nevertheless, we've been advised by the physio to make sure we're getting at least 2 leg sessions in a week at the moment, as I have been, but making sure we stay on top of it. So a lot of people, when they're training legs twice a week, they might focus on one quad dominant day and one glute and hamstring dominant day. We're going to be mixing both movements in this session twice a week. That's just how I enjoy my sessions, and that's what I feel like works best for me. There's no right or wrong answer, there's no correct answer. It's kind of doing what's best for you. Quite disheartening seeing what we've gone down to after all the months off leg training and throughout the injury, but it is what it is. It's not where we are, it's where we're going to. Barbell squat, 3 reps is going to be the focus. These sessions happen because you have to do them, and for me to make it to the start of London Marathon, I have to be as disciplined as possible. I have to make sure I'm getting my leg sessions in. I have to be following the experts' advice, the people who know best. So it's been a heavy week, training around, all the running, business, family, work, relationships, but these are the sessions that have to happen to get us to the start of the London Marathon line in the best shape possible.
How do you fit them in? Just getting up early, because I know you're always busy, always doing stuff, always active.
Yeah.
So what is it? Just getting up earlier, going to bed later?
Yeah, no, for me, I'm still up at the same time, so I'm up at 4 AM most days, get my reading in before my training. I think it is just about being disciplined, because I believe you do have enough time. It's making that time.
Yeah.
And I think it's like anything in life, like if you really care about something, if you really need to do something, you'll find the time to do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we don't have time, make time. You know, always challenge people who say they're too busy. You know, because if you go through your day and look at the amount of time you spend maybe scrolling on your phone, or you have a half an hour break here, and you think, oh, it's not long enough to do anything with it, so I won't do anything. You know, how long any of your habits, you know, you can always, there's always some time that you can excavate from your current habits and routine. Yeah, agree. And that just divides the people who are serious and the people that aren't. Agree. You know?
These are the people you should take tips from in life. These are the gym owners and the coaches. And this is why they're the gym owners and the coaches. So the reason we're focusing on the barbell squat to begin with is the physio has advised that my quads and glutes are too weak. Mainly my quads, so a lot of our work is focusing on the quads. So when I'm running, all of my weight is being shifted from my quads down to my calves, which then is overloading my calves, and over a period of time that repetitive stress of my calves rubbing on my shins and my ankles is causing the bone injuries. So I had a lucky escape this time where it didn't actually lead into a fracture, but I still had to take the gas after running for a while and focus on the strength training.
Obviously when it comes to injury, a lot of people tend to or if they've got a deficiency or an imbalance or a weakness, they tend to avoid it. And the best thing you can do is work on it and work on the muscles that support it. So what Rudy's talking about then, working on his quads and glutes to stop his calves overworking. It's it makes sense and it's sensible. But I always try and relate things to that mindset, and it's funny how whenever someone has an injury, you always work on, if it's a joint, you work on the muscles around it to strengthen those so they support the joint more, so it has to work less. But it's the same with life, you know, a lot of people say, you know, I get really bad sleep, and it's well, the sleep isn't the issue, it's the systems around it, you know, it's what time are you going to bed? Are you taking your phone with you, or are you scrolling? Are you saying one more episode of Netflix? Are you negotiating with yourself all the time? That's the issue, the sleep, isn't it? It's the same with the injury, you know, you work around it. It's the work that you're willing to do, like him getting up at 4 in the morning and coming to the gym, doing his strength and conditioning before he goes and does his day. That's what makes the difference.
So that's the barbell back squats wrapped up. We're going to be moving on to the barbell glute bridge now, which is then going to be focusing on our posterior chain to help build up our hamstrings and our glutes, which are much needed essentials for running. Feel that burn through the glutes.
Is the main thing that's made you disciplined?
Fitness for sure.
Yeah.
Fitness. It just taught me discipline I was unable to learn elsewhere, and I always say that. And that just shifted into every aspect of my life.
But that's the thing. That's the human experience. I think we learn through inspiration, through experience. That guy would have seen that somewhere. Yeah. He would have seen someone better himself, doing more than what he was currently doing, and decided, you know what, I'm capable of more.
So we're moving on to the dumbbell Bulgarian split squat now, which is single-legged movements. This is key for running. When you run, you use one leg at a time. It's also going to expose any imbalances that you've got. I myself tend to find that I have a stronger and more dominant right leg, so this will help even things out. If we're only focusing on double lateral movements, not going to be able to expose any imbalances. Strong draws.
Speaking about imbalances, when I broke my ankle in the military, I didn't tell anyone. I just taped it with black tape. It fused back together. And since then, my IT band went as a result of it from running forward. But now, when I stand straight, my right foot goes on like a flipper foot. Crazy. My left one's straight. Crazy. But what he's talking about imbalances, that then affects my hip. Crazy. Affects my balance. When I'm running, you know, I see the way my feet are planted. It is something I'm trying to correct now, but it's mad because an injury that started down here is now affected one here, isn't it?
3 seconds down, fast drive up. Where do we start with?
You know, one big thing that helps me with difficult exercises, hard workouts, hard moments in life is I don't think about the end of the set or the rep that's next. I just stay in the present moment.
So we're going to be finishing up with a single leg RDL, which is another single lateral movement, working the hamstrings and the glutes. Like we said, like the glute is going to be one of your main propellers that you use, your main muscle group when running. That's the force behind every step.
Just remembering that the movement comes through the hip, not the knee. So a lot of people as well, they think they have to go lower to work it. So they bend the knee more to compensate it. And it's just doing nothing for it.
Wrapping things up with the single leg calf raises. The calf is essentially your running spring. So the weaker your calf is, the more energy you're wasting when running. I also ripped my soleus last year during the Paris Marathon, and that's one of the biggest recommendations that I was given by the physio. So just for context, so for today's session, here's what we've done on the whiteboard. So we focused on 2 quad dominant movements and 2 hamstring and glute dominant movements, and we balanced them and split them out through the session. So in essence, in its simplest form, it's quads, glutes and hamstrings, quads, glutes and hamstrings, and that allows each muscle group to rest in between each set and gives you enough time to recover. What do I always say the mission behind ROCUP is building discipline through fitness and transferring that discipline into every aspect of life. Because I truly believe that somebody that locks into their fitness, somebody that adapts that mindset of being locked in, being disciplined, can transfer that everywhere.
Transferable skill.
And that's, it's a transferable skill that's into your family, your friendships, your career, your goals, whatever that may be. I truly believe the person that locks in through fitness can level up in every aspect of life. And that's what I preach. I preach that through ROCUP. I scream that every Saturday. I scream it in all my messages, my Instagram, everywhere. Like, I want people to understand the discipline you build through fitness, you can transfer into every aspect of life. There's many people that they probably don't know that Jordan was the first person to give me an opportunity when I was first released from prison. And he gave me a job as a personal trainer at KB Performance Gym, where we just trained. And that opportunity is essentially what helped me build confidence. Again, I believe that action builds confidence. So me taking that job as a personal trainer, it helped me to believe in myself as a personal trainer. It helped me develop my craft, and it helped me fly the nest essentially. I worked at KB's gym for 6 months or so, built incredible skills there, built incredible friendships there, gained as much knowledge as I could, and ultimately led me to wanting to fly the nest. I then got myself a job in London, so I applied for a job in London at an amazing gym called Ultimate Performance in Mayfair.
I was doing the exams in the office.
Yeah. I was grafting, I was doing the exams for this job while I was working at KB's gym. And ultimately I got the job at a gym in Mayfair, which was an amazing gym. Very uptown, high class clients. It was a whole change of environment, and I think that's really where my mindset just shifted to another level. I'm training people that are paying £180 for a PT session. I'm training people that are pulling up in a Maybach. Like, I was around real money, I was around real inspiration, and I wanted more. And I realized that as much as I love fitness and as much as I want to change as many lives as I can through fitness, if I work as a personal trainer, I'm always going to be working under a ceiling. As a personal trainer, you only get paid for the amount of hours that you work, unless you own the gym. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I just know for me and my level of ambition and my aspirations in life, I was never going to be happy being a personal trainer. I also found myself in London very lonely. Yes, I had friends at the gym, yes, I had great clients, but ultimately I was finding it hard to build friendships. And the reason being is that I was holding my past back. I wasn't being open and transparent with people about where I came from. So I was working at this gym, and I wasn't telling people I'd just been released from prison. They were asking me what I'd just come from, like what did I do in my previous job, and I was finding myself lying to people. I was finding myself telling people, the other staff, that I'd just come from working at a construction job with my uncle. Bullshit. I'd never worked a construction job in my life. This was my first proper job outside of KB's gym. And that made me feel guilty. It made me realize that I was building friendships on lies, and I couldn't build real friendships, and it was having an impact on my happiness. And I guess the message from that is, like, always be yourself. You know, don't hide your past, don't hide your skeletons in the closet. Accept yourself for who you are, because ultimately it did lead to unhappiness. That was where that was it, you know. I was looking at your face when you was there, you know, and I was thinking I recognised you from somewhere when you came rock up the other day, didn't you? 666. How did you find it? Slow.
Nah, bro, you got your all-time PB. You got 25 minutes.
To be fair. But then I got these. Put a little turtle on there.
Come
And when
on.
I get quicker, I'll change it to a hair.
That's the little. That's the reminder, yeah. Come on. You'll change that to a cheetah soon, lad. The gym that I worked at, ultimately gave me an ultimatum. They saw that ROCUP was taking off, and I don't blame them because they want somebody who's focused on the job. But they gave me the ultimatum that I either stop ROCUP or I quit, and I chose to quit. I chose to bet on myself, and I believe that in life you have to bet on yourself. If you're truly passionate about something that you're building, no matter how hard it is, no matter the discipline it takes, you have to chase it. So it would have been easy for me to take that option and stop ROCUP, something that wasn't even paying me at the time, something that was actually draining me because of how much I was putting into it. And I could have quit. I could have kept my job. I could have kept a salary. I could have stayed in London with a nice roof above my head. But I chose to bet on myself, and I believe that sometimes the things you want in life are on the other side of doing hard things. And yeah, I quit. And I think when you're building something that the world needs, if you're truly passionate about it, you have to chase it. You have to. And it cost me something. It cost me my happiness for a long while. But I believed in it, and I believed how much it was helping people. And the brand's got a message behind it. You know, the brand message is rise over challenges. I can't quit when it gets tough. When I'm screaming rise over challenges, I can't. The discipline that I learned through fitness, I transferred into reading books. And I wanted to touch on 2 books that really changed my mindset that I read when I was in prison. And these are the first 2 books I ever read. Now, just to give context, we used to get up and train 5 in the morning, every morning, me and Tony on the prison yard. We used to be finished by 6 a.m. And I remember saying to Tony, you know, what do you do now? You know, I was still a little bit of a dosser at this point. I still had a phone that I wasn't meant to have, a contraband phone. But when you finish at 6 a.m., there's actually nobody in the outside world to speak to. So that phone at that current time is irrelevant. I used to say to Tony, what do you do now? And he told me this is when he reads books. Now, I was 27 years old at the time, and I'd never read a book in my life. And I told Tony, I've never read a book. I don't have a book. And he went and got me a book. And he went and got me Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And this book, the first book I ever read, changed my life. This book is all about mindset. It's all about making things a reality in your mind first before the physical form. And the idea is that all things that exist started with a thought. So the screen that you're watching me on was built by somebody. That person thought of that idea first in their mind before they turned it into the physical equivalent. So it talks about the importance of working out what you want in life, writing down a vision, and manifesting it in your mind before you turn it into the physical reality. And this actually allowed me to sit there in my prison cell and write down what I want to achieve in life. Because before I read this book, I had never actually thought about what I wanted to achieve. It was always just chasing money with no real purpose attached to the money. It was just money. And this allowed me to kind of write down what I want from life, to set a goal, put it on a vision board, put it in front of my face every morning when I wake up, every morning I go to sleep, and chase that goal. It's about chasing a carrot. And as a man, as a woman, you should always be chasing something in life. The second book that I read was How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It sounds like manipulation. I promise you it's not. I promise you it's not. How to Win Friends and Influence People. The way I look at this is humans are a currency, and we are going to spend the rest of our life around humans, whether we like it or not. So why not figure out the best way to live around humans, to understand humans, to engage with humans properly? And this book made me realize very fast that the energy you put out in the world is the energy that the world will give back to you.
I didn't believe this book at first. It teaches you human skills that I guess I was never really exposed to. Greeting people by their name, smiling when you meet them, complimenting them. And I actually started testing these skills out on prison guards in prison. There was a tall screw who used to walk around called Chris. Everybody was scared of Chris. If he thought you had a phone, he was in that cell. If he thought you were dodgy, he was all over you. Like, he was a problem in that jail. He used to kind of give me a bit of a problem. I started testing these skills on him. You know, I started seeing Chris, calling him by his name. Hey, Chris, smiling at him, greeting him, complimenting him, you know, just taking general interest in him as a person. And funnily enough, his whole energy towards me changed. And I remember actually thinking, like, this book is magic. Humans are currency. And this here, these skills, these communication skills, they're gold. They're gold dust. And again, it sounds like manipulation, but it's not, because it allowed me to be a better person towards Chris and feel better about myself. And he started being a better person towards me. And I realized that this book, it just teaches you such human communication skills that I believe everybody should try and master. So the 2 books that I'd recommend anybody to read: How to Win Friends and Influence People, Think and Grow Rich. 2 books, the first 2 books I ever read in my life that helped me change my mindset, helped me understand humans, and helped me understand what I want myself from life. Game changers.